I was supposed to create an entirely different video that was going to be in place of this one. I ran into the exact same issue I run into often with the creative process, and it does happen regularly, but I think I figured out how to work around it, or ways I'm going to try. And I figured this video is going to be more important for not only myself to make, but also something that might be able to help you. I know it's probably a cliche to make how to become motivated videos or what to do in this situation, because everyone's different. But if this video manages to help even one single person, then I'm happy. In the creative space, lack of motivation is no stranger. Sometimes it's hard to create content, even though it looks so great on social media. Everybody looks like they're happy. There's always that internal struggle to create something when you don't want to. And unfortunately, that's exactly what I'm running into. Time and time again, I struggle to find what really helps me, but I think I've at least done a good job of finding things that can be utilized as stepping stones to a more clear mindset. The first and biggest struggle I notice in myself and other creators is always comparing ourselves to everyone else. And that's the moment I should realize this is an issue. So these guys right here, these phones, yeah, they suck. And the reason for that is because they have things on them called social media apps. You guys know them, we're all on them. And they give you a lot of false expectations. I think my biggest issue is, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can check screen time on these things. And my screen time for places like Instagram, YouTube, Twitter are pretty damn high. And so in an attempt to actually motivate me more, I need to decrease the time I'm on social media. Social media for artists is of course very important. You need to promote your work, get it to new faces. That's sometimes how you gain clientele. But the time I am trying to cut out is the time I sit there and scroll all day long and get absolutely nothing out of it. Number two is something I've actually been doing for a little bit. Let me show you. A while back, my girlfriend and I started this challenge called 100 Days of Sweat. Now, 100 Days of Sweat is exactly what it sounds like. You're spending 100 days straight, and every single day you have to break a sweat in some way, shape, or form. But the issue I'm finding with this is sometimes I credit myself when I feel like maybe I shouldn't. If I break the smallest amount of sweat, I tell myself, well, challenge complete for the day. But I don't entirely feel like that is a great benchmark for a good day of physical activity. There's so many benefits for physical activity, and I feel like I give myself maybe too much credit on those days where I'm not working as hard, and so maybe push myself a little bit more, and that'll help, hopefully. Number three is create with no expectation. I fall victim a lot to creating a piece and preconceiving this idea in my head about how is it going to look? What's going to be the color scheme? Hopefully the clouds look exactly like this for this sunset or sunrise. And it tends to weigh on me a bit when it doesn't. I have definitely created things I've loved more when I didn't plan them. I had no idea how it was going to turn out. I had no idea what I was going to do with it, and I loved it. Number four is self-explanatory, but I want to try my best to break down tasks into smaller tasks. Often what I'll do is I will create a checklist. Now, the issue with the checklists is the tasks are pretty demanding. For example, create a YouTube video. On paper, that sounds maybe fairly simple and even look simple. It's not just create a YouTube video. You need to create the first B-roll sequence like in this video, and then you get to the main narrative of this video. But if I write YouTube video, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, and I feel like maybe I shouldn't be doing that. I need to do my best, my absolute best, to maintain the cleanliness of my workspace. You hear it all the time, and it's true. And this one is also a bit self-explanatory. You just have to be on top of yourself. What I'm trying to encourage myself to do is when I get back from a shoot, everything that I've moved goes back into the place that I took it from. I know I only said 5, but I have a 6th one, and I would really encourage you guys to take this one to heart. But remember why I started creating. When I started taking photos, I dabbled in many different types of photography. At some point, I remember I would overly desaturate all of my photos, which is totally fine, and that's a style in its own, but it wasn't for me. And then I jumped to composition, which many times before I've been told that it was confusing and people didn't understand why I was doing it, but I loved it. And that's all that mattered. And some people thought it was the most amazing work that they've seen from me. More of a realization of why I started creating in the first place. It was always fun. It was never going to be work, because it was something that I just loved doing and naturally became a job because of that. And so I feel like I've lost sight of the why. Does that make sense? Those are just a few things I'm going to try to strengthen my motivation. If you guys want to try some of them, please do. This is for you and for myself, so please utilize it as you will. Thank you guys so much for watching. The support has actually been incredible on this channel. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.